So why does the mind create suffering? Where does that suffering come from? What is that? And it's because we are looking through the mind, which is, what does that mean about me? And it's that constant comparison, judgment, pressure, protecting, constantly protecting what is happening around me, about me. And that pressure never ends. That pressure is constant. And it creates a dullness to life. It creates a constant monitoring, comparison, really loud plane going over. Let that one go by. Wow, that was a big one. So that's it. The mind, the mind is viewing itself for who it thinks it is. And everything is done in comparison to what that means about me. Right? So that never ends. So that anxiety of what that means about me, that pressure of what that means about me. How did I come across? How do I look? How do I sound better? How do I look better? Constant. It's a pressure, and it never stops. And that psychological pressure drives, it becomes a misery. And you can't escape it. Because it keeps coming. And that's how it generates the suffering. You suffer your own thinking. You suffer the constant, never-ending the anxiety of what that means, how that looks. And it's like you're always trying to hold ground. You're always resisting life. Life can't just be. There is no acceptance. There is no just acceptance, there's no just being present and being in life and allowing life to be what it is. No, it gets interpreted through the eyes of me. It's an interesting one, right? In the sense that when you start to see it, it's interesting how the mind constantly does that. Everything is interpreted through that. And then you have your own particular judgments and your own particular wounds, triggers, using all these modern words. I say they're modern, I don't know how modern they are, but they're modern to me, these words of, you've been triggered, you've got a wound, you're inner child, all of that stuff, right? But it all means one thing. Who you think you are then meets life. Your story then meets life. And you are very sensitive around certain areas because of who you think you are, the story. And so therefore you suffer around that area. You have a huge self-judgment in a certain area. Oh, you're this. Oh, really? Oh, yeah? No, it's really bad. I'm this. It's just a story. It's not real. You're carrying the story over. Someone called you a name once. And you took that on and you personalized that name. And you were hurt by that. by the thought of what that you thought that meant about me, right? And then somebody else can say something else and just straight past you. It means nothing. So you have your own particular ones where you've got your own areas which have got to be guarded against. Oh, don't touch that spot. That's a sore one. You know, then you even start to approach life to protect your sore bits. But anyway, look, to come back to the original point is, so the reason why you suffer, your thinking, is because you see life through who you think you are. You see life through me. Not me, you, me. See what I mean? You see life through the eyes of your me. And what that means about me. And da-da-da-da-da, right? It's constant. And then you wake up in the night, anxious, and the mind's already racing about this thing and that thing. And what happens if this happens? And it's trying to cover all angles. And it never stops. And it's trying to work the whole thing out. To hold ground. Don't lose ground. Well, what did that mean when they said that? What's going to happen here? And it literally kills the joy of life. Because you don't experience life, the joy of it anymore. Because you're completely wrapped up in your own thinking. And that's how it generates suffering. The constantness of it, the dullness of it, the anxiety generatingness of it, the pressure of it. Can't relax. Can't just enjoy being and sit there. No. You'll become no one if you're not constantly on it. You see what I mean? That's what the mind says. And whatever someone is in the idea of your own conceptual thoughts. You know, because everyone has different ones. Everyone has different roles and different becomings, you know. And however big, small, doesn't matter. That's what the mind does. Doesn't matter what scale it's on. It's constantly comparison, judging, protecting, never stops. And when you're in it, and it's having you, you will suffer it.